Yeah.
There's a participant. One, okay. Kenny's joining us.
That's right.
Tim Bourne's
Tim's
coming
here.
on.
All right. I don't know the last name. I do. With her with Meredith, Mom. Yeah, I heard, she's my granddaughter's best friend. That's cute. Nothing story. No. She's. I was teaching.
Tim, are you there? Tim Bourne?
Hey, Kenny.
We muted?
I can. She does it right here. Right here.
Tim, are you there?
I am in.
Hi, Kenny. You joining us tonight?
Yes, I'm a visitor.
Hello.
Nice to have you.
All right, this is the April 1st Parks and Recreation Committee meeting at 6:31. Let's introduce ourselves for the recording. Jean Millerall, Chair.
Bernie Scutel, secretary.
Bonnie Cody. Resident, what am I? Member. Mary Jo McCarthy, member.
Evan Meenan, new member.
John Scutel, member.
Michael Fossil, member.
And we have Tim Bourne online.
The Tim Bourne Select Board.
Any adjustments to the agenda?
Uh,
Okay, hearing none, we have distributed the March 11th meeting minutes and they're up for approval.
So moved.
Any second?
Second, Michael.
Any comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, they're approved. And then-
I technically abstain, I suppose, since I wasn't.
Yeah,
Wasn't there for it.
I guess so.
Yes.
Well, you got them to read.
And then introduction of visitors. Kenny, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Kenny Bassett. I live on Blockhouse Point and I'm just an interested party tonight.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Any comments? Public comment? Okay, moving into the parks area.
Do we miss some?
Oh. We wanted to formally welcome you as a
Thank
new
you.
member of the committee. And I also want to, Mary Jo is back and reinstated on board. And as is Bernie, Scott is too, but he's out tonight, but welcome.
Thanks.
Okay, P-lots. Terry sent around some emails or an email about the upcoming trail steward events. The one for basic trail cleanup will be on April 19th from 8 to 12. At the same time, for P-lots, we're gonna send a few people down probably to do the footpath, because there's not a whole lot on the footpath.
No,
that I
the
think needs-
footpath's pretty clean.
Yeah.
Pretty clean.
But there are several areas in P-lots,
Right.
so she's starting to get that together. She's on vacation for a few more weeks, but we'll be back a few days in advance.
Excuse me, you're doing that the same day or I have,
Same day.
okay, I have the cleanup on the footpath on the 26th. Is that?
No, that's the Ingalls is the 26th.
Oh,
Did I send you the wrong info? Well, it's definitely the 19th, 8 to
Okay.
12. Okay,
So two teams, in other words, right?
2 teams, probably just 1 or 2 people going down the footpath.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it a little later. We would like to get some treats like coffee and stuff
Mhm.
so do a pre-approval on the cost for that. The next thing up is the deer exclusion fencing. We got the grant from Audubon.
All right.
So it's $2,500. Scott is worried that it might be a little bit more expensive, but we had money already in the budget for it, so we could probably easily do that. The money will be sent to us. It isn't like it's a reimbursement grant, so
Okay.
they just send us the money. It's put in a special account. And then Lisa would just pay the bill out of that account for it. We'd like to, the money will be sent to the very beginning of May, right to the town. And we'd like to do the work in mid-May while the ground is still kind of soft. And so we're gonna start planning a date to do that. We'd like some confirmed
Helpers?
support for it, not just open it up to we'll open it up to the trail stewards, but we definitely want to get some confirmations back to make sure we have the people available. And then as soon as we get the money, Scott will arrange for buying the materials and stuff.
Okay,
So we have it in advance of that date. So we're kind of waiting for Terry and for him to be a little bit more available to actually set some time.
What are we excluding the deer from?
So it's in a maple grove and in P lots, when you, I don't know if you've been in P
Yes.
lot, when you first come in, it looks wide open.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a good thing because the maple trees are not growing because the
Okay.
deer is eating them. It could also be, there's also a bug or worm underneath that eats them. And then also another problem is the canopy, the leaf canopy.
Are
So
we
there's a
taking care of that? Are we gonna be cutting some of those big
well,
trees
there
down?
may
open
be a
it up?
couple spots, but that may be something that we have
Mhm.
to pay for. We have to take a look at that.
Okay,
So we met with the forester and she made some suggestions of where we could put this fencing. It's to exclude the deer out because when you go in there in the spring, it's just like a carpet of green
Mhm.
of all these little maple trees, but they're not growing.
I
And
see.
so you put fencing around until they get to about 5, 6 feet.
Oh,
And then you can take the fencing and move it someplace else and do an area that's maybe, I think he was thinking 20 by 20 or so
Oh,
area.
yeah.
We may have to take a tree or two down to open the canopy up for it, which is what Bernie was talking about. But there were like 4 or 5 trees that took each other out last fall, so there may be a space that
Yeah.
we can at
Okay.
least start in
Okay.
or make 2 smaller spaces too to see. So the only thing that they're asking is that we put an educational sign there, which we should do anyway, and thank them for the donation for it.
oh,
It's a
Okay.
forestry management.
Plan.
okay, yeah.
great.
deer browse from your shoulder down to your ankles.
Oh, I'm familiar with it. Quite a few of my plants that I've tried
Yeah.
until I put my own exclusion fencing on. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, until you drive along, or if you're in a boat, you'll see it, it looks like somebody's trimmed the cedars
Mhm.
perfectly. And we used to say, oh, that's a lot of work.
You can
Until they
see-
started, until the deer started eating ours.
You can see it in P-lots too,
Yeah.
when you come to the
Mhm.
second one, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll want some confirmed participants for putting those in. I know he wants to put a gate in there to be able to get in and out of that space. So he's got an idea of what we need. And once he gets back in queue here, we'll do that. The next thing, the trail arrows, they're all done, the little cookies. Terry put the rest of them up the other day or a week or
Right.
so ago, so those are all done. The railroad bed. John, I sent around your quote that you had.
Okay, well, I contacted Chad. Chad's in there sugaring now, and part of his cleanup work, when he finishes sugaring, is smoothing out the access road. And so I thought, well, let me talk to him about, spreading the gravel and the stone. And he said he'd like to do that. I sent him my takeoff of, the length and the width and the thickness and the yards of stone I had figured. And which I think that total was $3,400, and he said he could do it for that, maybe a little less. He'll keep track of it.
Okay,
So, and he'll do that. After he pulls everything out. And he wants to make sure it's dry enough so he doesn't create more problem. And he's gonna do it from the what would be the north gate to the intersection.
it's further than that. Those. These 2 pictures here are beyond the intersection.
Well, we can talk to him about.
Okay,
So he thought that it was okay past that, but,
okay,
but
okay,
we'll see, but we can extend him down because we have more money than for 3,400, I think, anyway.
Yeah.
Did you need to see that?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Have you gone out that's the extension of the rail bed that goes out to the north.
I went, we went a little bit down it, but we
Yeah.
didn't check to see I'm assuming there's the same railroad line that used to connect
Yes.
to the line trail.
Yes,
Are they
it
going
does.
do they still connect? You can get all the way out, or is there?
Well, you can go all the way out to the road, then
Then you
a
gotta
section
go
of the
through.
road
Yeah.
is the old rail bed.
Oh, okay,
And then you continue down and then the footpath takes off of the main road. So
got it,
you take a straight line down through there,
right,
that's the old rail bed.
The old
Okay.
island line.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's one thing on this, once we spend over $3,000, we have to have approval by the select board, even though we have the budget. But I've already got it in queue for Monday.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna tell them up to $4,000, so that the estimate is 3,400, but we may need a little extra here or there, so we're going up to 4,000, but it's all coming out of our budget. So Tim,
Yep,
so I'll be in front of you guys Monday to
yeah,
get approval to spend up to $4,000 to repair the bed.
yeah.
It's coming out of our funds, but
So
it's
that-
just that rule.
Yep. So there should be no problem.
Okay,
You've got it budgeted, so I don't see any problem with that.
okay. Anything else on the railroad bed?
Do we need a motion for that?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
To get a pre-approval to spend up to $4,000 on repairing the railroad bed as John has described.
So moved, Michael.
I'll second.
Second, any other comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, anything else on the railroad bed? Thank you, Bernie. Okay, the grant. I got an email over the weekend on that.
A good one?
No. Let me tell you what they said. So this is this is a grant that we applied to get the boardwalk repaired.
From where?
Okay,
And it was the RTP, which is the Vermont
Right.
state one, but it's actually federally funded. So this is the first time they're actually giving comments back, and we got a really good score on it. But I'm kind of frustrated by the comments a little bit. So overall, your proposal ranked well. However, we received 54 applications requesting a combined total of more than $5.3 million. They have 500,000 to spend.
oh, wow, okay,
So maybe 6 people got this out of the 54, maybe
Wow.
8. So here are the 2 comments specific to our project, that we should make it more accessible. Now, one of the questions in ADA, one of the questions that they had asked in the application is it accessible? And I said, no, you can't get there by accessible means anyway. But their comment was, should make more of the accessibility equity effort. For example, how could this project support the needs of people with low or no vision? I don't even know how to answer that, but, and then the second comment was, concern about building the boardwalk on a trail that runs through wetlands. We should decommission the trail and reroute it to a less vulnerable area. So those were the 2 comments that we got back.
So
The,
we didn't
uh,
like it going through the wetland, in other words.
Right.
and which federal agency or department's administering this grant?
Well, it's through it's the state forest.
Oh, I see.
Parks
I think they're
Recreation Group,
allocated
yeah,
for
and the
administrative.
funding, I think, comes from US Highway,
Oh,
whatever that
interesting.
group is.
Okay,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is federal,
Yeah.
right?
It is federal funding,
Yeah, federal funding.
so,
And the purpose of the boardwalk is to protect the wetland while people are able to view it. That's the,
Right, exactly.
is this the section that goes past the vernal pool?
no, this is in
Oh,
Pilas.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
It's, you probably, I don't know if you walk down, but if you go all the way around, it's where you come back out,
yes,
down through the
Yeah,
swampy area.
okay.
of the wetlands. As far as making it accessible for visually impaired, You could do that, and, you know, it's having the edges so they can,
But the problem is they can't get there.
they can't get there. Well,
And
you'd have to
that's-
do it,
that
you'd have
was-
to do that all the way out, so.
And that was one of the questions that they asked, why is this not ADA compliant? And one of the boxed responses is that the terrain does not allow for it.
Well,
In the
it's, yeah,
park.
it's a quarter mile from the paved.
Huh.
So there, I mean, we did really well on points, but I don't think.
It sounds like with that many applicants, maybe they were looking for reasons
Yeah.
to,
Good point.
other than just saying, sorry, we don't have enough.
Yeah.
Like they have to come up with a reason.
Yep, I wouldn't be
How
surprised.
much money was the project anticipated to cost?
So the actual materials and stuff was about 17,000, but we were gonna have help doing it. We were gonna hire somebody to do that.
Mm.
We were counterbalancing it. It was a match fund. We were counterbalancing it with volunteers. So if you include the volunteer time, it was a $37,000 project roughly.
Hmm.
For project management, cleaning, setting up, that type of thing on it.
I just wanted to thank you for all of your hard work.
I-
You've been working on this for, I mean, how many months? 6 months?
Yeah.
Like
So-
almost a whole year. Thank you so much for doing that.
Well, I'm not upset about this. There was like no chance here, right? Really?
It was worth the effort.
Yeah, it was worth the effort. Maybe next year.
They know who we are.
Really good at grants.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd be very skilled at it.
Yeah, well, Gene, you must be getting to the point where you can cut and paste from all the grants you've applied for.
What's really surprising though is they all have different angles, so you have to rework most of this
Yeah.
stuff anyway. Anyway, the baseline shoreline erosion funding. So we were sitting in a meeting the other day, John and I, and Tom Brazeldin told us about some funding that he had that we weren't aware of, and he was Brazeldin, sorry. One of the targets of the funding that they have is to actually assess the a trail on the park, the Bayside Trail, which is the one that runs along Pilots Bay there, for evaluating impact on phosphorus in the bay. And the only thing that we have going on over there is one trail and there's some erosion on the trail. This is after they do another project that's along Pilots Point Road, where some of the road is eroding down off when you first get onto Pilots there, that
Right at the corner.
section there.
It's
So
O'Neill's
the,
place, right? It's
Hmm?
O'Neill's, the O'Neill farm.
yeah, and I think a little further up, probably a little around that corner. And so I think the main thing for the funding, it's 200 feet, is to address that. But if there's leftover money, he wanted to do a phosphorus assessment on the bay underneath our trail, just to see if there's any erosion or not. If there's any repair or anything needed for it, it would have to come from a secondary grant or something like that for it. So that's, I think, all it amounts to, but I thought I'd let everybody know. He drew the whole line, but I think it's probably more in this
Mhm.
space here.
Yeah.
That's
So
the
what did you
issue.
want us to do?
Well, we need to be aware of it. There's nothing we really have to do. I
Okay.
think they're just testing for phosphorus in the water right
Okay.
along that line. Okay, we have to consider Tim, well, whether it's Tim or whether we need to get Chad to do the trail mowing and Pilots.
Didn't we pay Chad last year to mow
He
Yes.
mowed footpath.
the footpath?
Footpath.
Okay, we're talking Tilly.
We're talking Pilots right
Oh,
now.
you're talking Pilots, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
so we really have to talk to Tim probably about it to find out how much he's willing
yeah,
to do
Tim will be
versus
back
hiring.
next month,
Next,
and we can,
So we'll wait and ask.
wait, and I'm sure, Chad would jump on it. I mean, he did do it at one point.
he did, okay.
And then we made a request, I think at the end of last year, at the end of last summer, that Tracy maybe do it. And then it didn't happen because Tracy was working single-handed and there wasn't the availability of personnel to mow it. but I will keep that in mind if you decide that you want to go and see if that can be part of Tracy's work.
That would be great.
That would be great, yeah.
He does around the parking lot, Tracy does, on P
Yeah.
lots.
Yeah.
And then he does the field and Ingles, but the rest of
Uh-huh.
the trail stuff in
Yeah.
footpath is Chad and right now Tim for P lots. So we'll have to check
Yeah.
with Tim.
Yeah.
We'll follow up next month.
Okay.
Anything else with P lots? Okay, Ingles. We need Pete.
Pete is scheduled for, right after April 15th.
Okay. Should we pre-approve?
Isn't that, a yearly approval, or do we need to pre-approve
I
that?
think we've been pre-approving
Okay.
each one, so up to $350.
Yep.
This is for Pete, to come open up Ingles, turn on the water, make
Turn-
sure
yeah.
everything's functioning.
Turns on the water, hooks up the hot water heater, checks the system.
So we need a motion for that?
Yep, 350, up to
Yeah.
350.
I'll make the motion that we pre-approve up to $350 for Pete Murray to turn on the water and check the system.
Second,
A second.
any comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion's carried. As I mentioned a little earlier, the Trail Stewards is 4/26 from 8 to 11 at Camp Ingles. The wood chip spreading, are those wood chips still viable?
They're kind of viable.
Kind of.
Yeah, I think if we were gonna do more, I think we would want to try to get more wood chips, and we're coming into the cutting season.
Okay,
So we can,
I usually, when I see someone cutting down
Yeah.
trees, I'll stop by and
Yeah,
say, well, where are you
featured-
taking your wood
Yeah.
chips?
features and Island, they're,
I think they're still viable, actually, because it's essentially just
I
one season.
kicked them around the other day and they're mulching.
Yeah, but-
We can still spread them, but
They're good, because they only last a season,
Yeah.
and they get covered up by leaves and.
this is to do the storybook walk at Ingles.
Okay.
We have the local guys that are cutting down trees, take their chips and just dump them over there for us to do.
I was gonna ask who the town gets their chips from, because I've been calling around and the message is the piles are still frozen. We can't-
Right.
or the ground's too soft right now. You
Get 'em
can't get out
yeah,
there.
that's what I said, they'll start
Yeah,
start
get 'em out
cutting
there when it
now.
dries out.
Yeah, you see the trucks are starting to go out there. And usually once the leaves start coming out, then there are a lot of good chips.
So maybe in June
Yeah,
or so.
be
Okay,
over the summer sometime.
okay.
I'll take the tractor over there.
And Bernie got a quote from, well, it's was
Ada.
Green Mountain
Yeah, they
Cleaning.
changed
It's
the
now
name.
Island 5-star Clean.
Because Ada's daughter has joined them, so I think it seems to me that she's doing all the tech stuff now.
Okay,
Which is great.
What's the name of the company?
Now she calls it the Island 5-star Cleaning. I can't remember what the name of it was last year, but she's very meticulous.
so the,
Wash all the windows in the longhouse, inside and out, wash the screens. Which is good, yeah.
so the quote she sent around is camp openings $305, $165 for the windows. And then every event is 180. Last year, we used her for 6 cleanings of those post-event
Yeah.
duties. And so, that adds up to about $1,545. So can we go for like a $1,600 pre-approval?
I would make that motion.
Second, Michael.
Thank you.
Second. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay. John Hayden recommends this for the map for Ingles. This would be going on probably the cabin for now. Similar to what we did with
Mhm.
P-lots. It's right out of the brochure, so I was gonna go ahead and get that ordered if
Okay.
everyone's
Yeah.
okay with that. So can we do a pre-approval on that too?
Do we have a number on that?
Last time. Last time I think it was 200 something. Let me just see if I have it here.
We go for 300 then. Just in case.
Yeah. I did say we should go for 300. Yeah.
All right.
Don't move, Michael.
That's the motion? Okay, thank you.
I'll second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Kitchen update, anything from Tracy?
We haven't got, I'll have to go in and check. We were there,
We've been working on it
yeah, we were there last week. When were we there?
on a Sunday doing story.
Well,
walk.
Sunday, we did story walk and he was there finishing up and I went in and talked to him, made sure he had put in an outlet for the water heater. Underneath, he said he was gonna be finishing up and so we'll be getting a bill for that. Shortly.
Did we approve an amount on the some point? Anything else?
I have that here.
Oh, interesting. All right.
I can't remember.
He's doing all the individual outlets, right?
Yeah, everything was roughed in and you know, that's why I cut them all in when I finished the cabinets. And he just had to finish the outlets. And he ran one new circuit underneath,
We had an estimate of 600 to 700, but we didn't pre-approve it.
okay.
Mm.
I would say if we were carrying that, I would, maybe pre-approve up to 800. Cause we had him do a little bit of extra stuff.
And the trim around that back door needs doing, right?
Yeah, well, this is separate
Installations.
from this.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, a motion to pre-approve up to $800 for the electrical work at Ingalls.
And so moved.
Second,
Second, John,
any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Anything else with the kitchen?
well, consider, do we wanna wait, till next month to pre-approve getting more material? Next month is in May, we have to spend.
So because of the select board schedule, everything has to be into them by June 13th.
Yeah, so.
And so we need to move
You
kind of in the
wanna
next month or
pre-approve
so.
some money now for Pine?
Why don't we come down to that when we do the? You want to do, yeah, for the pine?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where did you wanna do it?
Nope, that's fine. We can do it right now.
Just for trim and around the back.
Well,
door.
trim and there's a couple walls that need to be finished around the,
Oh, yeah,
the
the-
pass-through and
Serving.
on the
counter,
back wall.
The
So,
serving counter.
yeah, I would say,
Serving counter too.
you want to redo the serving counter now? I wasn't gonna do that on Pine, but
All right, well, we're gonna do it
I
all.
was gonna try to get a piece of laminate for that, but we can do that later.
Okay.
I would, see if we could pre-approve up to $800 for pine and material to finish the trim and the walls in the kitchen.
Okay,
Make that motion. Michael.
Oh,
second.
Okay, I thought John made the motion.
No, I'm just, that
Okay, okay.
I
All right,
identified it.
Michael made the motion.
Second, second.
All right, thank you.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Anything else on the kitchen?
Not at this point.
So-
Every time we talk about the kitchen, I just have to say how beautiful it looks. It just looks wonderful.
So Mary Jo has raised some questions about the rental process within that. I just wanted to bring it up, related to the cost, the insurance and the approval process. So we're gonna move that to, we're gonna put it on the agenda for next month.
Mhm.
Anything else with Ingalls? Okay, footpath. So as I mentioned, the trail steward cleanup is in conjunction with the P-lots 419, 8 to 12. The signs on the beach, I know you noticed them. I was surprised that you think that was.
Oh,
broken.
that were not cut. That was the
Yeah,
fatigue
I
from the
would think
wind.
the bolt would have gone or
No,
something.
if you watch the
Okay.
wind blows them and they go, and those are just light garden T-posts, then it just fatigued them. You know, and, you know, some of them are blown like this, so you do that. 100 times, and it's probably happened 1,000 times there, they just fatigued off at the bottom.
So for
It
those
looked
who
like they were
don't
cut.
know, a couple of the signs at the beach, at the footpath were cut in half and just kind of hanging down.
Well,
I
they were
thought it was
right- they're
vandalism, but
right off the-
apparently
off the
not.
ground, but this fell off of the ground. The heavy duty street post wasn't affected.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was just the light green,
Yep,
snow fence posts that were.
Tracy
Like
tells
this.
me that he's got some extra
Extra?
heavy duty posts. So
Yeah.
we're gonna contact him and try
Yeah.
to set them again.
Well, it's pretty windy up here. It's-
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's sitting right out there in
Yeah.
the wind on the
It's
beach.
direct hit.
Yeah, hour after hour, right?
was there any damage to the signs?
No, the signs are fine.
When I saw them, one was not quite broken, and then one I just kind of stuck right back in the ground temporarily, and I know
Yeah.
by the time I get back to my car, I'll blow over again, but.
Yeah, we stuck, I don't know when you were there, but we stuck them, stuck them back in too, and kind of, one of them, and
We
one of
moved
them,
them out of the wind. We
and
moved
one
them.
of, and the other one we took home to put on the post, so.
But when we get posts, we can put a
Yeah.
call out or maybe align it with the trail steward event or something.
Yeah, we can do that,
Maybe that's what we could do, put them,
Yeah.
install them those days.
and I've got a post hole pounder now too, so.
We'll contact Tracy.
Okay, anything else there? Brochure is coming along fine. I think there were a couple minor changes that, Scott was sending to John, and John wants to get an aerial view with the, leaves up when he puts his
Drone.
drone up there, yeah. But if you guys wanna take a look at this at all, I can send it around by email when the final version
We just
comes
made the
out.
changes that we talked about last time, and,
I think
yeah.
so. It will probably be a few weeks. Well, when leaves come out, he'll send the drone up and take pictures to get a final version of that. And I'm gonna,
Anything else on that at all in terms of the brochure? So he's gonna wait and take a picture and then put it together.
yeah, that's,
Yeah.
it's pretty much
basically
done. I
yeah.
do think there were a couple minor changes that Scott sent back on this one,
Okay,
but, he's gonna do the aerial picture, then distribute it around to us for final,
Okay.
and then we can get them printed. And we'll also need probably doing math there too. And then I'll reach out to Chad to get a quote for mowing footpath again, unless you think Casey, but I'll get a quote. Anything else with the footpath?
No, it was actually pretty clean. It didn't.
Yeah, it looks good. Summer camp.
okay. So it's been hot and heavy ever since it went up on the website. We have 52 applicants already. 2 camps are full, nature and pre-K. Pickleball is just about full.
Really?
2 more.
The brochure looked really good. I don't know if this is the right time to comment, but
Yeah.
I thought, not the brochure, the online looked fabulous.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Good job.
You mean the online? It's basically a picture of the brochure.
Yeah, it was good.
It's perfect.
I thought the brochure was great too.
Yeah, it's still good too. So yeah, we've awarded 5 swim camp scholarships. And we had $130 to start out with. Plus I just got another contribution. So we're gonna have some money left over for next year's swim camp
Yay.
scholarships because I believe we've got 19 or 20 swimmers already and our cutoff is 30. So, pickleball, we've got 3 more openings.
That's great.
Yeah. Let's see.
What did you
Art,
say was full? Pre-K?
nature and pre-K. In
Nice.
fact, two over for each of them. I couldn't turn those parents away, so Colleen said it was okay, so 14 in each camp instead of 12.
Those plans changed.
Yeah, I could be, yeah, and then that's,
And you got Marissa back.
yeah, our swim helper for Lauren is a young woman who graduated with her master's last year from UVM, and she's been sort of like, if I don't get a job, I'll be able to help you out next summer, that sort of thing. But she's been job searching. And she found a job that was pretty flexible, so she just let me know a few days ago that she could help out with swim camp. I mean, it's hard to find someone who wants to stay in the water for 3 hours. And assist our swimming
They're both
instructor.
very young.
You go
know.
numb after the first
Yeah.
hour.
You need to come out to get the kids and.
Yeah, so we had them at Albert Dune State Park, so sometimes the waves there are just like, right in your face, sort of, but anyway, thank goodness Marissa's back. So, yeah, we have a good variety of camps this year. I don't know if you've seen them.
I have, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, looks good.
Yeah, so that's exciting. So we're basically pretty much full for all of our camps. 5 more slots in our art camp and pickleball, 3 more slots and, yeah. So that's good. And
Great.
Youth assistant?
I have one youth assistant who was in our kayak camp several years ago. Susan Davis's granddaughter.
Oh, very.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
right?
Elizabeth, yeah.
Elizabeth, yeah.
She's very cool, yeah.
She's
Yeah,
great.
she's great.
And her younger sister is in one of our camps, so they'll be up for the month of July from DC, and she's gonna be working with Mia. So it's a perfect fit.
Good.
So, and I'll start advertising for youth assistants as we hire 14 to 17-year-olds to help us with camps, and even pretty good, our camp directors and assistants are well paid, I think.
Are there a lot of 14 to 17-year-olds that are interested in doing that, or is it
Well,
difficult?
sometimes we have
to-
good luck and sometimes,
Yeah. Well, they're usually
yeah.
kids that
been
have aged out of
previous-
the programs.
previous campers, yeah. Unfortunately, the white girls are too old.
Yeah.
And they're
All of
working
them are,
full-time.
huh?
Well, they're working full-time
Yeah.
now, so, taking a week out of their full-time work to work at camp, and they were great helpers too, so I think Lizzie will be good.
I know she'll be good, yeah. She's been dying to,
Yeah.
she's been waiting and
Yeah.
waiting for her to
Yeah,
be old
her
enough.
chance.
Yeah.
That it?
Mhm.
Pickleball. I
Um,
printed out that
yeah.
blurb that they,
the only thing that I think we all want to hear about is the Night Point, right? All
Mhm.
permitting has been completed.
Great.
We're in the beginning of the bidding process.
Okay.
And then hopefully the 4 new ports will be up and running in late summer or early fall.
Wow. that'd be
So
great.
that might make the odds.
Does this group have any input on who is awarded that bid?
no,
Okay,
no.
cool. And the only reason why I ask is because if we did, then I was just gonna have to say I have to recuse myself because I think I'm related to someone who might bid on it. So I don't want to like, if it turns out bad, don't blame me. If it turns out good, it's all me. I don't know. But like,
No, the state's had, the
I
the
figured this-
IPA doesn't even have,
right, because I saw the bid,
Yeah.
request for bids went out.
Yes, here, this is the
Oh,
paragraph. I can send it to you, but it's right here. Yeah. Yeah.
this, we initially, how many years ago was that? 10 years ago?
That they started,
Started,
Oh, yeah.
started playing pickleball?
yeah, because we started the first with Tim.
I bet, it might even be more than.
It might be
10
more than
Probably
that at the school.
Oh, okay.
And then it took off.
Right.
And now they're their own.
And we tried for one of those grants too.
Yeah,
On the neighbors in Camp Angles, the
Mhm.
field, we thought it'd be a perfect place for a couple of pickleball courts.
Right.
And the neighbors just went bizarre. Tried to
Down.
pay us,
yeah.
tried to pay us off.
I still have all the emails from that.
Some of the neighbors are
are all pickleballers now, yes.
And we told them that none of us were at the time, remember, couldn't have any vested interest at all.
But, yeah, but it's, the Night Point thing is.
Oh, it's gonna be
great. It's gonna be
Yes,
And
fantastic.
they're
Perfect.
talking about, and I'll send you this whole email if you want, if you all wanna see it. If they talk about, making sure that if you're eligible, sign up for the,
Senior pass.
senior pass and
Yeah.
other ways, I guess if you're a vet, you can get a pass.
Mhm.
If you're, they're talking about figuring out how to not make us pay all those entrance
Right.
fees, so. I think that would,
Mhm.
right, I don't think you'll have to.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't have to, I agree.
So are there's courts at the school?
There are three courts.
Three courts.
It's the basketball court.
Okay,
I'll send you this whole email, because it's interesting, just
And
it's an
the
update
courts at Donaldson.
at Donaldson.
okay.
And brand new courts at Allberg, there's an ice skating rink
That's
that
good.
they just spent some. Is it ARPA money that they had to spend to fix this
Probably.
ice skating rink,
Mhm.
and they made them multi-use courts, and they're gonna be beautiful. So
Wow.
it's all amazing.
One in Isla.
And
Isle of
Isle.
Mont is really beautiful too.
Yeah.
They took a basketball court and resurfaced it and they fenced around it. It's really lovely.
It's a hot sport.
It is.
Come and play. You wanna play?
I played a few times.
Awesome.
At the courts at UVM, I know some people who work there, and so in the winter time, when the cross-country skiing was poor, that was the backup activity.
Okay,
Okay,
moving
green
on.
up day.
Green Up Day.
I just posted my first green up thing on Front Porch Forum, all about the history of green up day.
Yeah, I saw that.
55th year of green up day in Vermont. Yeah,
I remember when that started.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
Bag pickup locations,
Um,
where are they?
so how we've done it in the past, it's not just Saturday, it's
Right.
whenever you have time to pick up. like,
Okay,
Okay, so there are coordinators in various parts of the town.
I see.
Jean is in the south end,
Yeah, I
right?
used to be my coordinator.
Yeah, exactly. Michael's in the center of town. Tim Bourne, you're out Savage Point.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, although yes, I am, but I would be, Savage Point, so many people walk on that, it gets picked up a lot. I'd be
Right.
glad to send an email out to all the people, on Savage Point, but if you have something else you want me to do, I'll chip in with something else. But I
The
will
north
take care
end
of
is
Savage
okay.
Point.
The north end, I know Michael's gonna try to get up to Birdland,
Birdland, yeah.
right? And then I'm gonna work from Birdland north. But I was gonna ask Bonnie to take the far north end of
Okay, starting where?
where you
Starting,
live.
starting at Holiday Point?
Yeah,
Sure,
Mhm.
going to the park.
going to the park.
Got it.
Or Jigger House Point.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm
That's
going
quite-
north?
Yeah, you go north.
Yeah,
I'll organize from.
Great.
From Birdland up to,
Done.
yeah, where you live, and then if you go up to Jigger House Point. That'd be great.
Bernie, did you bring bags this evening?
No, but I'm gonna be putting them out soon, okay, so I'm
You're in
gonna,
the car if you want.
Yeah, I'll take some with me.
they are in the car, I've got
Yeah.
boxes in them, but I have a big tub set up like I did last year. Behind the community hall,
Oh,
and
okay.
inside there'll be grabbers and bags. And I'll have a checkout for the grabbers, because those are,
I'll
sometimes they
I just need
disappear.
some bags. I'll take them with me tonight.
okay, you can take a whole case. That'd be good, I've got cases and cases of
Okay.
bags. And then I'll have plain bags at Heroes Welcome, plain bags at Harborside, boxes of bags. And then at the library, I'll also have a checkout thing for grabbers and bags.
I've got several grabbers at work. I'll just bring them.
what do you do with the work? You just reach around and grab.
He grabs kids. Is
There's
that
a
what
lot
you
of
do?
paraphernalia down.
Yeah.
So I'll just
No.
have a lot of information on Front Porch Forum going out in the next,
Okay.
as
Hey,
much
did
as
you
they
put
allow.
who the coordinators are also? Our contact information and for the areas?
Excuse me, I didn't hear that.
Did you, I thought last year you put the names of the coordinators in the areas.
Yes, I will. Is that okay?
Yes, fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I put that in our Front Porch Forum that I just submitted today.
Yep.
And so people will call you with
Yep.
your email, not your
Yep.
phone. And then you can coordinate it.
Yep.
If you need a map of the town, I have a really good map of the town.
I think for.
I don't think you're gonna need it.
No.
But,
I'll take it.
all right, Jean has a lot.
It's
yeah.
like draw on
And
it.
maybe you could help Jean this year.
Sure.
Because you're in the same area.
Mm.
Yep.
And I had forgotten that you have Abnaki Road all the way down.
Well, it's usually one person, but we gotta get that guy that empties it. There's one guy that pulls stuff out of the lake and
And
we keep
leaves it.
missing the pickup.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
You gotta
I
get the
have
pickup.
pictures from last year or the year before.
Uh-huh. Anyway,
Yeah.
I might
This
go
is
knock
my
on his
first
door.
time.
Station Road.
Yeah, Station Road.
Yeah.
And Abnaki Road going, that's actually a long.
But usually one person does that.
Really, that's. good.
Yeah, usually this woman does it. so.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
no,
I walk that road at least once or twice a week. There's not, I
It's
mean, I've
not
been-
bad.
it's not bad. I mean, I go, actually, there's not, most of the trash is on South End Road from like the intersection to Abnaki heading east.
Yes.
That's where most of the trash is.
Yep.
And I try and give people the benefit of the doubt that it's just flying out the back of the truck, but I'm not.
That was bad last year. It got cleaned up and I
Yeah.
noticed it today. It was bad again.
Yeah,
And South End, West End gets bad too.
okay.
yeah.
And Harry and Carl are on notice.
For
yes,
Sunday, Harry and Carl
Yeah.
pick up with the town truck. I
Yeah,
think it was, who else helped last year? Or the other select board member,
oh, Joe. Ladder.
Joe and
Yeah,
Ladner
yeah.
and his boys.
And the boys did.
And the
Where-
boys.
Like, we put our pile at the end, but if I go further north, where should I put it? Just,
Intersections is what
okay,
Harry and
Okay.
Carl would like, intersections, and if not, you just leave them by just piling together, instead of like having to stop for one bag.
And if you have,
On
if you're
Main
going
Road.
out to the end and there are bags way out at the end, maybe email Carl or email Bernie,
And I'll.
say there are bags
where
out
do they
there.
wanna go? Like, what's the best case? Where do you?
On the town road at the
On the town road.
at a corner.
No, but do they go to the town garage at the end of it?
So they'll pick up and take to the town garage because they've got the, not the town garage, the dump.
No, they
transfer
take it to the
station.
transfer station.
They
So
have
I
the
can take
key.
it to the transfer station
Yeah.
and say, these are my green up bags?
No.
Okay, all right, I'll figure it out.
I think.
We've done that.
Okay.
Just pick up and leave them in a pile by the side of the road, and then Carl and Harry sort of really like that.
They seem to have
They have-
fun.
Cause I was gonna do it on Green Up Day, so basically,
That's fine.
if I'm doing it on Green Up Day, if I do like the south end and then Abnaki, the best place to leave the bags in would be what, at the intersection of Route 2
Abnaki and South End.
No,
Abnaki
Abnaki and South End.
rather than
Yeah.
Route 2 and
Route
South
two
End.
is state road.
Okay, okay,
Well, yeah, the state guys will pick up, because I do Route 2, a friend
Okay.
of mine, and I do from the bridge down to Birdland, and we do it over a matter of days.
okay,
And we just sort of clump them together, and state guys come through, they're cleaning up too, and they just pick them up.
okay,
But,
I can put them in that
yeah.
location.
Yeah, but the very cool thing is that I got a interesting email from, is it Steve from Kramer and Ken?
Kramer and Ken
They're gonna
is
do a big deal.
here.
Oh,
Here.
nice.
I mean, at that building.
The one they
next-
No,
purchased.
I think they're doing it here at the community hall.
They
They're
do-
building
they
it
do
actually
the
at the
event
house.
here.
Okay, at the
Yeah.
event.
And they're gonna have food trucks
That's great.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
12.
and music,
Right.
Music,
Nice.
right?
yeah,
On the day,
on Saturday,
did.
yeah.
It'll be fun for you, you'll be
Yeah.
right here in the,
Building it in.
the one right next.
On
to
the other
post office.
side.
Got like yellowish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't think that, I'm not sure if they bought it or rented it. I
It's the
think,
house, right?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
the house.
They said they're gonna, it's like, we was reading yesterday, under 20 seats inside, and then I think they're gonna do like a beer garden. in the
Yeah.
Yeah,
truck.
a beer garden.
Yeah.
And it'll be so much fun.
That's gonna be fun.
We just keep our fingers crossed that
I was
it's. not
sad when they
warm.
moved out of the church. They were in the church for the first year.
Oh, okay.
That was fun. But anyway, I think it's great. They're so excited about doing it on Green Up Day. It's like their kickoff.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
That's
Which
perfect.
is great.
Perfect
So,
for them.
yeah, very well.
Like some trash and beer.
They were clean, hand cleaning station,
Yeah,
right?
right, right.
Well, that's the
Look
same
around.
day that the plants come too.
Yes,
next
it
door, So it'll
is.
be crowded here.
The
Who's
plants?
coming?
So the Franklin,
Oh, the Franklin County Conservation.
yeah, they drop off here. No, I think it's Green Up
It's
Day.
Green Up Day.
Look at my emails. I have to go back and look at.
Did you order?
I've burned a bunch of trees.
Yeah, Yeah,
We ordered some too, but I didn't know that we
I think.
gift, I didn't know whether you're picking them up.
Yeah.
Well, you have to tell them on your
You
order,
have to tell them.
so you might wanna call
Call
them,
them,
Yeah,
yeah.
so.
cause
check that.
it's like 2 doors down, or 3
It's a
doors
chamber.
down.
It's
It's
the
at the
chamber.
chamber that she sets up.
Oh, last
So-
time it was at my, Julo's place.
Yeah, that's a chamber.
It's a chamber, yeah.
I didn't know that's what that's called.
Yeah. So,
Suck, yeah.
yeah, I ordered, I think, 4 bushes for us to put along the north side at Ingles.
I've got raspberries.
Yeah, you'll be doing a lot of digging.
What kind of bushes did you want?
Pollinator friendly bushes.
Oh, right.
I don't remember the exact names, 4 or 5, or maybe different bushes. So, yeah.
All right, moving on. Just some of the events coming up. The Audubon Bird Walk is at Pilots on 5/3. Terry is gonna do a bird walk at Pilots on 6/1. Mary Jo, you're checking with the school to see about, a field day. Okay,
I'm going tomorrow and Thursday. I'll talk to you.
seeing if the kids, they wanna have a field day at Ingalls, which we would pay for the bus, which we have in the budget. And the garlic mustard pull will wait till a little closer to time.
Mhm. I usually do them in gray.
We have the Mr. K events on 6/24 and 7/30. Those will be at the library.
Mhm.
And the VINS program on the July 26th will be at Ingalls.
You
Did I
have to
send
come
the
to-
calendar around? I sent the email out? I
Yes,
think
it
I
was really
did.
good,
So,
yeah, yeah.
all of that should be on there.
And the calendar was also all updated on the website, on the town website.
Okay, moving on to Zoom usage. You saw the email from Corinne about the Zoom bombing that happened. The way they've reconfigured this system now is that anybody that's dialing in goes into a waiting room automatically, and they just sit there until they're invited into the meeting. The intent there is to, if there's somebody that bombs, you have to let everybody in basically, because we're a public meeting, but if there's somebody causing difficulty there, you can then put them back into the meeting room, the waiting room. And you can eject them, or you can report them, or you could do both. But the problem is when the meeting's running, we have to pay attention to the media, the waiting room, which isn't even displayed right now. But it's this participant switch here, which I had let both Tim and Kenny in at the beginning of the
Mhm.
meeting for it. If somebody joins midway through, I think what Corinne is suggesting is we should probably have somebody monitoring that.
Another
And
job.
another job during the meeting, because I think it would be difficult for you doing all the notes, and I'm usually taking notes, but whoever's chair would be busy running the meeting, so it might be good to have another person paying attention just to see if somebody's coming in and out and managing it.
Yeah, I can do that.
How about the
John?
assistant chair?
Well, so far.
All the power, that's what he's after.
How about that?
I
Trying to
let you
move,
in.
trying to move away from it.
One strike rule.
Now, she did ask whether we even wanted to have Zoom, but I think we need to have Zoom. Right, everybody uses it on this committee, so, and especially with Tim in Florida for a few months and stuff like that, so I think that's it.
Or if we're sick. It's a good idea to have that.
Right. Now, the difficulty in monitoring it, this goes to a screen right here like this. I don't know if it's worthwhile bringing in a computer and just logging in. I don't know.
Could do
On the
that. When we Zoom and we use the waiting room sometimes at home, when somebody comes in, it shows up. Well, otherwise it doesn't show.
It doesn't show. So if it shows
So
up, then we're all
It should
set.
show up on the little square
Okay.
up there.
She did say that they were gonna have some training once we decided, so
Okay.
we can
Well, you
figure out the
can
training.
Try it out by.
Logging in and just
Yeah.
seeing if you
Yeah.
can see. Okay. All right, anything else on the Zoom? Okay, open meeting law training, it's required for the chair. Any reappointed or new members, as well as any members that have not taken it in the past 3 years, and since we have 3 years terms, that usually. Anybody else, it's optional to take the training. They set it up, the town will set up a meeting with VCLT, and we'll all get email blast probably towards the end of this month of when that date would be, and then you just log in and get online. I think as an alternative, the Secretary of State now has a training program on their website that you can take at any time too, so that may be the alternative, but it's kind of nice to do the live because you can hear the questions and stuff too. So we should be hearing about that. Okay, election of officers. I sent around, I think last time or this time, the job roles.
You look at the ranges for your.
There it is.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can keep just.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna get.
that works. Thank you.
Sure.
That was easy.
Yeah, that's what happens with.
And it sits up
At
there.
home, it just, when somebody comes in.
And then you just have to go to the participant button, so,
Mhm.
and then kick somebody out if
Yeah.
you needed to. Okay. Election of officers. It's that time of year.
Well, I'd like to make a nomination.
You would, okay?
I'd like to nominate Bonnie to be secretary.
Do I have to say I accept?
Accept the nomination.
Oh, no. Do I say anything?
Not yet.
I'm gonna put
Your stump speech.
I'm putting you in the timeout room.
All right.
I would second that.
Do you accept being nominated?
Yes.
Any other nominations for secretary? All right, shall we vote? A motion,
So moved.
second,
I second.
any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hey, Bonnie, there you go.
I have a
Thank you,
little gift-
Bonnie.
I have a little gift for you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
I noticed that she got rid of that right away.
I can't go to the next meeting.
Well, it's not like she's not doing anything else.
It's been like 12 years or something.
You've done a great job.
And I do
and-
other things.
And it won't be as, I don't promise to do as good of a job.
Sure.
Oh, I thought it was just the binder. Is it a special binder? And it's a special bag?
Yeah.
Doesn't.
You can
All
keep it.
right.
Okay, I would like to nominate Jean to continue being chair.
Is anybody else interested? I don't mind, but I want to give anybody else a chance if they're interested.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Jean.
I second.
Okay.
Okay,
so
I
there's a
have to
second.
abstain. You want to call the,
Yeah, I will, do. Jean accepts the nomination, to continue being chair. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Michael.
Do I have a second?
I second. I jumped the gun on that one.
Any comments?
Again, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jean.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you very much, Jean.
all right.
Thank you, Jean.
You're in for another year. How many years did I do it?
Yeah, I'm
Well
just like,
done.
I'm 2.5, I think
Yeah.
now.
Long time, yeah.
Vice chair, so the vice chair, the primary role is to back up the chair when I have to abstain or I can't be here or something, so I nominate John. Any other nominations? Motion,
I'll make that motion.
I second.
second. Any comments?
Thank you, John.
You're
All
welcome.
in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, John. And then treasurer. Anyone else want the job?
Are you going to continue, Jean?
Well, Jean does both now because, Evan, is that something you might wanna?
Jumping
Try?
both feet.
Who's a newbie? I don't know. I'm happy to defer to someone who's been doing this more than
An hour.
59 minutes.
It's actually not too bad because most of well, Jean's got it all set up now. But most of the information comes from the town.
I don't know, I feel like I should get. settle in and
that's
get my
fine.
feet
Get
wet.
a Steve.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Don't wanna scare them away.
Well, we can always change it mid-year.
Yeah.
So I could take it and then we could reevaluate.
Sure,
Would that be
yeah,
all right?
happy to, yeah, reevaluate in the future.
Unless we can convince Michael to. do
I would do it, but I'm gonna take on additional responsibilities on the capital.
it. I was
Improvement
gonna
Committee,
say, you're
Yes,
doing
you're
that.
doing
Since
yeah.
Terry stepped down as chair.
Oh, okay,
Put me in and then we can,
okay.
over time, we can see how
Yeah.
that plays out.
Oh, we can talk to Scott too.
I've already done that.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Okay.
Didn't work. All right, nomination,
I would nominate Jean to be interim treasurer.
Why are you saying interim? Did we just discuss something? I didn't hear that.
What?
just
Why?
call it
Just
treasurer
I
for
think-
now.
I think
Just
it's
treasurer,
probably-
okay.
All right.
All right, I'm abstaining.
You need a second.
Do I have a motion?
I so move.
Second,
Second,
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, Jean.
Okay. Finances. There's no receipts or invoices that require approvals. I think we've done a lot of the pre-approvals already. Trail Steward refreshments. Asking for up to $250 for buying coffee and donuts or cookies or something like that as a thank you.
To include all the events.
Yes, yeah, that would include.
You think that's enough?
I think for this fiscal year, because some of those events will end up like
You
the
have to do it.
after July, yeah. So why don't we say 250 for now?
Mhm.
And I get a pretty good deal over here.
I'm sure you do.
So up to $250 for Trail Steward events.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Any other pre-approvals? I can think of, we did quite a few.
Did we approve the shrubs there?
That's
yeah.
already paid.
Already paid, yeah.
Already paid, okay.
Did we, need anything did we make an emotion about any, fencing? At all, or is that all part of the?
For the deer
Yeah.
exclusion, we don't have a final number yet. We
Okay,
need Scott to give
alrighty,
us.
Okay.
I mean, he's given us some numbers, but I think he's reevaluated based on location and stuff, so we don't have final numbers for that
Okay.
yet. Okay, so I sent around numbers. Of course, I got the town report this morning, so it's changed a little bit from that. But what we're looking at is roughly $4,200 that it's available now. Now, the reason that there's that much available is that the cost of doing the railroad bed is most likely cheaper. We're not gonna be paying for the deer exclusion fencing, and we're not getting many hours out of Lauren.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of it. She's in school all day, so it's hard for her to really keep up with.
I think we're gonna
So
reset
just-
that
we-
next
we
year.
need to look at that again.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm glad that she's doing what she's doing, actually.
so we end up with quite a bit of more funds than expected because of these changes.
Mhm.
And so, I was mentioning before, we have to have the final bills into the select board by June 13th-ish.
We've got to spend this money.
We have to spend this money. So is there anything we want to pull up from our plans that we can do this year rather than next year?
Gosh, could we put a new roof on the field cabin? The shingles are blowing off.
Yes, it does need a new roof.
But can it be done in time?
I think it can be,
Can you just buy the materials?
we can at least, and I would recommend putting a metal roof on it.
Yeah.
Just a ribbed metal roof.
Mhm.
Um, and at least we can buy the material. And, I will price that out for next
Okay,
meeting.
we had talked last year also about replacing the fence at Ingalls. Or repairing it. Replacing
Yeah,
sections
we
of
should get a
it.
quote on that too.
The chain link fence?
Mhm.
Yeah, at the corner by the gate.
Yeah.
And the gate was messed up this year as well, I think. Yeah.
Well, actually, I think Tracy, they pulled all the vines off of it and
Yeah.
stuff, they cleaned it up, but it needs some work there.
We need to have a working gate there. It's an emergency gate in terms of getting fire vehicles up to the Longhouse.
You'd also talked to last year, we have it on for next year, I think next fiscal year is a kiosk down by the parking lot at Ingalls. Is there any interest in, again, this is a lot for just a couple months,
Not
but
gonna have, it's a manpower issue.
How much money did you say, Jane? you have to put?
about 4,200 plus or minus. I'd probably be safer if we were around 38.
So. Yeah, I think we need to get an estimate for the fence. I think
So the fence and the roof are, I think, yeah, and the install of the roof. If we
And the
to Heat
fence.
that up, yeah, right.
we can't really install that kind.
Oh,
of
no,
fence.
that's getting a quote from Middlebury Fence or if there's a local guy.
I think the gate is the most important
Yeah.
thing to fix at least. If we have to make a choice between the gate and that other part of the fence, it's sort of like,
Oh, they haven't, do it all at once.
Well,
The
just-
gate is okay, it's affected by that whole corner being,
let's get a
Damaged.
quote done.
but I'll call around and get a quote on that.
Now, these are all for next year that we're just trying to get in this year because of
Right.
the money
Right.
funding, so this isn't, it's just moving up on our plan, that's it, nothing new.
So John, you're gonna get quotes for both.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else to consider?
I think.
They'll
that's-
probably eat
that's
that
gonna-
up,
that's gonna-
yeah.
That's gonna eat most of it up. and
Yep.
If there's anything left, we can always just get some more pine to
Mhm.
use in the longhouse.
Mhm.
Okay. That's the end of the agenda. There's nothing else, motion to adjourn?
So-
Yeah, I say,
Yep.
Yes.
I just want to say, how impressed I am that you're able to process this lengthy agenda in 1 hour. And,
We are too.
and I'd like to thank all of you for your time and efforts, and it really shows.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny.
Welcome.
Come back another time.
I
It's
will,
always, it's good to have that feedback. We don't often get that.
I understand, but all of you guys deserve it. And even just take one item like Green Up Day. It really works. And that's because of your leadership, period.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dan.
Thank you.
Any other comments? All right, motion to adjourn?
So moved. Next meeting,
Second?
I said.
next meeting before we adjourn?
May 6th?
May 5th.
I
May
do have
5th,
to
May
say,
6th.
when you said that Tim
6th,
was,
I think.
sorry. When Tim was in Portugal, I thought you meant Tim.
Oh.
What's his last name?
What?
Tim O'Reilly's in
Right.
Portugal.
And then I saw him, and I'm thinking, what is he doing hanging out in the garage? When
Okay.
he's in
All right.
vacation
All right, so I made a
in
motion to adjourn.
Yep, a
Do we have a
second.
second?
Portugal. Second, interrupted.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Uh,
Any comments? I should have said. Any opposed?
No,
Okay, we're adjourning. Thank you.
thank you.
Bernie, can you put that?
This is Volunteer Appreciation Month. I don't know if you all know that.
Is it